The Unseen Wealth. Introduction to the village. In the heart of a lush, sprawling landscape lies the village of Lamoa, a place pulsating with vibrant life and colored by the beliefs of its inhabitants. Here, beauty and luck aren't just traits but are seen as gifts from the mystical forces that whisper through the trees and ripple across the rivers. The villagers hold a deep-seated belief that their fates are woven by the unseen hands of ancient spirits, and every full moon, they gather to sing praises and offer gifts to these unseen entities, hoping to earn their favor. Main characters. On the fringes of this animated village live two sisters, Nia and Ada, in a humble, thatched cottage surrounded by wildflowers and the sprawling branches of an old baobab tree. Nia, the elder, is gentle and thoughtful, with eyes that sparkle with kindness rather than beauty. Ada, the younger, carries a spirit as vibrant as the fireflies that dance in the twilight, her laughter a melody that brightens their simple home. Despite their plain looks, they are loved by their neighbors for their generosity and warmth. The sisters share an unbreakable bond, their lives entwined like the vines that climb the walls of their cottage. The Serpent Encounter. One dewy morning, as the village still slumbered under a blanket of mist, Nia set out to gather herbs from the dense forest that bordered Lamoa. The forest was a trove of healing greens, and Nia knew it like the back of her hand. As she meandered through the familiar paths, her basket slowly filling with chamomile and lavender, her foot brushed against something unusually smooth and cold. Startled, she glanced down to find a serpent, its scales shimmering with an ethereal glow, yet marred by a deep wound along its side. Despite the tales of caution woven through the village lore about the capricious nature of forest serpents, Nia's heart swelled with compassion. Without a second thought, she shed her shawl, gently wrapping the serpent, and carefully lifted it. She spoke softly, her words a soothing balm to the creature's pain. Nia knew of an ancient clearing, whispered about by the elders, known for its healing energies. It was here that she brought the serpent, setting it down by a pool that reflected the cerulean sky. She cleansed the wound with water from the pool and applied a poultice made from the herbs she had gathered. As she walked, the serpent's eyes watched her, gleaming with an intelligence and depth that unnerved yet fascinated her. As the sun climbed higher, spreading its golden warmth through the canopy, the serpent stirred. Its wound was closing, healing right before her eyes with a speed that defied natural laws. Nia felt a shiver dance down her spine as the serpent lifted its head, fixing her with a gaze that seemed to pierce through to her very soul. In a voice that hummed with the melody of the forest, the serpent spoke, "Nia of Lamoa, you have shown great kindness to one of the forest guardians. This is not forgotten. What is it you desire most?" Nia, taken aback by the creature's mystical presence and the unexpected gift of speech, hesitated. Her thoughts flew to her sister, their simple life, and the village's view of beauty and luck. With a gentle smile, born from a heart pure and true, she whispered, "To see joy and contentment bloom around me." The serpent nodded, its eyes shimmering with a mysterious light. "Then so it shall be. You will find that sometimes, joy comes in forms unexpected and beauty in ways unseen." With those cryptic words, the serpent slid away, disappearing into the undergrowth, leaving Nia alone with her thoughts and a sense of wonder that something profound had just begun. As she returned home, the air seemed to sparkle around her, the world bathed in a new, enchanting light, hinting at the dawn of something magical. The serpent's gift. Healing the serpent. As the days gently unfolded into weeks, the story of Nia's encounter with the serpent began to fade into the rhythm of daily life, a whispered legend that danced on the edges of the village's collective memory. However, deep within the forest, the bond between Nia and the mystical serpent only grew stronger. Often, under the silver glow of the moon, the serpent, now revealed as Ataris, the guardian spirit of the forest, visited Nia at the edge of the village. Their meetings were filled with old tales of the forest and lessons on the delicate balance of nature. Ataris taught Nia the language of the trees and the whispers of the winds. In return, Nia's dedication and respect healed more than Aterisa's wounds. They healed centuries of weariness between the guardian spirits and the villagers. The gift of beauty. One evening, as the sky painted streaks of orange and purple above them, Ateris, with a graceful motion of its head, presented Nia with a gift, a ring forged from the twilight and dew, adorned with a gem that pulsed with the life force of the forest itself. This ring, Ateris explained, is a token of our gratitude. Wear it, and the essence of the forest beauty will weave itself around you. Nia, humbled and unsure, hesitated at first. But seeing the sincerity in Aterisa's luminous eyes, she slid the ring onto her finger. Instantly, a gentle warmth spread through her veins, and a light as soft as dawn caressed her skin. Transformation. Returning to Lamora with the ring, Nia noticed the first changes by the following morning. Her skin glowed with a radiance that mirrored the serene light of dawn. Her eyes, once a muted brown, shimmered with specks of gold and green, reflecting the vibrant life of the forest. Her hair flowed with the grace of willow branches swaying in the breeze. The transformation was not just physical. Nia found her words touched with newfound grace, and her presence seemed to calm and inspire those around her. News of her stunning metamorphosis spread like wildfire through Lamora, drawing both awestruck admirers and green-eyed envious to her doorstep. The once quiet and unassuming Nia became the village's living legend, her beauty the subject of every conversation. People came from far and near, hoping to catch a glimpse of the girl blessed by the forest itself. They brought gifts and sought blessings, believing that Nia's touch could bring them fortune and favor. However, not all were pleased with Nia's newfound allure. Ada watched with a twinge of sorrow as her sister, once her closest confidant, was swept up in a whirlwind of attention. The sisters' once simple and shared life grew complicated as the village's fascination pushed Nia into the spotlight, leaving Ada on the periphery, her presence overshadowed by Nia's brilliance. As Nia navigated her sudden fame, she clung to the ring's comfort, a constant reminder of the forest's whisper and Aterisa's wisdom. Yet, even as she smiled through the endless praise and adulation, Nia couldn't shake the feeling that with great beauty came a new, unseen burden, one that might soon demand a price she hadn't anticipated paying. Rise to fame. The impact of beauty. As the seasons changed, so did the rhythm of life in Lamora. Nia's transformation brought her not just the village's awe but also newfound opportunities that had once seemed beyond reach for the sisters. Local artisans sought her endorsement for their crafts, believing her radiant appearance could bring a magical allure to their wares. Even the village elder consulted her, thinking her beauty was a sign of divine favor. This sudden elevation in social status was both a blessing and a burden. Nia was invited to every significant event and celebration, her presence now deemed a good omen. While she tried to embrace her role with grace, the weight of expectations began to press upon her, turning every step outside her home into a performance. Venturing into business. Inspired by her deepening connection to the forest and guided by Aterisa's teachings, Nia decided to harness the village's burgeoning interest in her by starting her own venture. She began crafting potions and salve from the rare herbs she collected in the forest, infusing them with the same mystical energies that had transformed her. Her products promised not just physical beauty but a touch of the forest's ancient wisdom. Nia named her business Enchanted Essences, and it quickly flourished. Villagers and travelers alike clamored for her products, each hoping to capture a fragment of her enchantment. The success of Enchanted Essences made Nia a key figure in Lamora's economic landscape, further solidifying her status as a local celebrity. Sibling rift. However, as Nia's star rose, the bond between her and Ada began to fray. Ada, who had always shared in her sister's quiet life, found herself increasingly alone. She managed their home and handled the logistics of Nia's business, tasks that kept her anchored in their old world while Nia ventured further into her new one. Ada watched as Nia, once her inseparable companion, became a figure she could only approach in stolen moments. Their conversations, once filled with shared dreams and laughter, now revolved around business transactions and Nia's public appearances. Ada felt a growing resentment, not towards Nia's beauty, but towards the divide it created between them. One evening, as Ada sat alone under the baobab tree, she overheard a group of villagers passing by. They spoke of Nia's latest successful event, their words laced with admiration and envy. Ada's heart sank as she realized that she was now merely Nia's sister, her own identity overshadowed by Nia's luminous presence. Feeling neglected and sidelined, Ada finally voiced her feelings to Nia. Their conversation, fraught with unspoken grievances and misunderstandings, ended in a heated argument, leaving both sisters wounded and distant. That night, for the first time, they slept in separate rooms, the walls of their once shared sanctuary echoing with the silence of their estrangement. Nia lay awake, the ring on her finger a cold reminder of the unseen cost of her desires. Outside, the wind whispered through the trees, a mournful song that mirrored the growing rift between the sisters. As the moon cast its pale light through her window, Nia wondered if the beauty she had wished for was worth the price she was now paying. The ring goes missing. The festival. The annual Harvest Festival had always been a cornerstone of Lumora's cultural life, a day when the entire village came together to celebrate the bounty of the land and the spirits that were believed to nurture it. This year, the festival was especially vibrant, with Nia as its unofficial guest of honor. Decorated archways, colorful banners, and the sweet scent of blooming marigolds filled the air, creating a backdrop that seemed almost tailor-made for her. Nia, adorned in a flowing gown embroidered with silver threads that mimicked the sparkle of her enchanted ring, was the center of attention. Her presence seemed to amplify the festivity spirit, drawing admirers from all corners of the village. As she moved gracefully through the crowd, her laughter mingling with the lilting music, she embodied the joy and beauty the festival celebrated. Loss of the ring. Amid the whirl of dance and celebration, a sudden chill touched Nia's heart. She reached for her finger, her movements instinctual, only to find her finger bare. The ring, the source of her mystical beauty and charm, was gone. Panic clawed at her chest as she frantically searched around her, her eyes wide with distress. The discovery was like a cold shadow passing over the sun. Nia retraced her steps, her panic growing as each attempt to locate the ring proved futile. The festive music and laughter around her now seemed distant, a cruel contrast to the storm of fear and desperation brewing inside her. Immediate effects. As hours passed without any sign of the ring, Nia felt the magic that had enveloped her life begin to wane. Her skin lost its luminescent glow, her eyes their sparkling allure. The transformation was gradual but noticeable, and as it progressed, the crowd's adoration shifted subtly. Whispers spread through the gathered villagers, their looks of admiration turned to murmurs of confusion and speculation. The friends and followers who had once flocked to her side began to drift away, their attention captured by other festivities, their support as fleeting as her vanishing beauty. The realization of their superficial loyalty stung more than the loss of her enchanted appearance. Nia, surrounded by a sea of faces, had never felt more isolated. In her moment of vulnerability, it was Ada who noticed her sister's distress from the edge of the crowd. Setting aside the hurt and distance that had grown between them, Ada approached Nia with concern. Seeing Ada's genuine worry, Nia's resolve crumbled, and she shared the terrible truth of the missing ring. Together, amidst the fading lights of the festival, the sisters began a desperate search, not just for the lost ring but for a way to salvage the bond that had once been their greatest strength. This night marked a pivotal moment, revealing the transient nature of beauty and fortune, and the enduring value of sisterhood and sincerity, the search for the ring. Desperate measures. As the last echoes of the festival's music faded into the night, Nia and Ada embarked on their urgent quest under the cloak of darkness. Nia retraced her steps through the festival grounds, her heart pounding with each passing moment. She searched every corner, under tables laden with leftover feasts, and among the trampled flower petals, her desperation growing with each empty-handed search. Ada stayed close, her lantern casting a small circle of light that flickered against the uncertainty shadowing their path. Nia's anxiety was palpable, and every rustle of the wind through the trees seemed to whisper of her loss. The ring was more than a source of beauty, it had become a part of her identity, a shield that had guarded her from her deepest insecurities. Ada's support. Watching her sister's frantic search, Ada felt a surge of compassion and protective love. She remembered the years of laughter and shared secrets before beauty and its burdens came between them. Ada's decision to help Nia wasn't just about finding the ring but about restoring the bond that had frayed under the weight of Nia's transformation. "Let's check the riverbank," Ada suggested, her voice a steady presence in the cool night air. "You were near there during the dance." Together, they sifted through the shadows, their hands searching through the soft earth and cool waters of the river that murmured beside the festival field. Revelations and realizations. As they searched, they encountered villagers who were either returning home or cleaning up after the festival. Their reactions to Nia's plight varied widely, some showed genuine concern, while others hid behind veiled schadenfreude, revealing the complexities of human nature and the fragile nature of admiration. Through these interactions, Nia and Ada uncovered uncomfortable truths about the people they had considered friends. The sisters realized that the adulation Nia had received was as fleeting as the beauty granted by the ring. This harsh reality brought a new level of understanding to Nia about what truly mattered. Their search continued into the early hours, with no sign of the ring. Exhausted and disheartened, they finally paused, sitting beside the river, the gentle flow of water a soothing background to their weary silence. "It's not just about the ring, is it?" Ada asked gently, breaking the quiet. Nia shook her head, tears brimming in her eyes. "No, it's not. It's about who I am without it. I've been so foolish, Ada." Ada took her sister's hand, squeezing it reassuringly. "You're the same Nia to me, ring or no ring. Maybe it's time to find out who you are without it." As dawn painted the sky with hues of pink and orange, Nia felt a shift within her. The loss of the ring became less about the beauty it had bestowed and more about the lessons its absence was teaching her. Together, Nia and Ada decided to return home, their search unsuccessful but their resolve to face the future, whatever it might bring, renewed. In their shared journey, they had found something more valuable than any enchantment, the reaffirmation of their sisterly love and the real beauty of authenticity and resilience. Beauty rediscovered. Finding the ring. As the morning light bathed the village of Lomoa in a warm glow, the search for the ring took an unexpected turn. Nia and Ada, weary yet resolute, decided to visit the market one last time, hoping for a clue or a whisper that might lead them to the ring. As they navigated through the stalls, a glint of something familiar caught Nia's eye from a merchant's display. There, nestled among trinkets and baubles, lay her ring, unmistakably glowing with a subtle magic. Approaching the store, they learned it had been sold to the merchant by a villager known for her envy of Nia's transformation. The realization that someone close had taken advantage of her misfortune stung Nia deeply, but it also ignited a fierce determination. Confronting the villager, they uncovered not just the ring but also the pain and insecurity that had driven her to such an act. The encounter was tense, filled with apologies and confessions, painting a complex picture of human frailty. Choice of beauty. With the ring back in her possession, Nia faced a profound decision. The allure of slipping the ring back on her finger and reclaiming the beauty and admiration it provided was tempting. She held the ring, its surface cool against her skin, and felt the old, familiar pull of the magic inviting her to return to a life of enchantment. But as she watched Ada, who had stood by her through every moment of doubt and despair, Nia realized that the beauty the ring offered was fleeting and fragile, a beauty that had cost her more than she had ever expected. Ada's unwavering support and the genuine connections they had rekindled during their search spoke of a deeper, more enduring kind of beauty. True beauty. With a deep breath, Nia made her choice. She and Ada returned to the forest, to the very clearing where she had first healed Ataris. Holding the ring in her palm, Nia spoke to the guardian spirit of the forest, her voice steady and clear. Ataris, I thank you for the gift of beauty, for it has taught me much about myself and the world, Nia said, her eyes reflecting the depth of her journey. But I have discovered that the beauty I seek lies not in a ring but within the strength and love shared between me and my sister, and in the authenticity of our actions. With those words, she placed the ring gently at the base of the ancient tree where Ataris had once lain wounded. The serpent appeared, its eyes gleaming with a wise light, and with a nod of acknowledgement, it vanished, taking the ring with it. Conclusion. Renewed by their experiences, Nia and Ada returned to their lives with a new perspective. They poured their energy into enchanted essences, but with a shift in focus. The business now emphasized natural beauty and wellness, promoting products that enhanced not just physical appearance but nurtured the spirit and mind. Their bond, strengthened by the trials they had overcome, became the cornerstone of their success. The villagers noticed the change, drawn not only to the products but also to the genuine warmth and wisdom the sisters shared. As their business flourished, so did their personal lives, enriched by a community that came to understand the true essence of beauty. Nia and Ada's story became a beacon of hope and authenticity, a testament to the power of inner beauty and the profound bonds of sisterhood. In the end, Nia and Ada learned that real beauty and fortune were not things to be worn or displayed but lived and shared. Their legacy, woven into the fabric of Lamora, would inspire generations to come, a reminder that the most profound beauty comes from within, nurtured by love, resilience, and the courage to be true to oneself.